I would just love to see somebody get it that could put in the love that I used to put into it, because this used to be my life.
Yeah.
Every day we got off work, this is where we worked.
You
know.
If we were waiting on my parts, we were working on yours.
Yep.
If
I think you're right. You know, this really is where it all started. I mean, if I didn't have this type of place, I don't know if I would be where I am today.
Yeah.
With working on our cars and trucks.
So I have a direct association with racing as a byproduct of Austin starting and building his truck. Because if he had never done so, I probably never would have taken the plunge to do mine. This is where our send it mentality came from. Like, we're not scared of boost because we were first not scared of nitrous.
Don't mess with that back door, all right? Y'all leave that thing alone. Listen, I ain't your mama's now. This ain't your house. You got to clean up your trash. I don't want no trash left on this bus. Ain't no trash left on this bus. It ain't your house. I ain't your mama. Clean it up. Sorry about that. I couldn't help it. I was thinking about this video and what we're doing today, where we're going, and it just kind of felt like I was taking you along on a field trip, like a historical type of trip, like you would take in elementary school. And it just brought me back to what my southern, real, you know, down home school bus drivers would act like coming to and from school or on field trips. So I don't know, it just had to come out. I saw it on TikTok. It's been hilarious. I can't help it. We've been laughing about that for weeks. So today we're going to go somewhere pretty special. This place is key to what I am, to who I am, to what Clifford is, to the friendship that Austin and I have, to the knowledge, the everything about me took a pivotal shift in the direction that I'm on, towards the path that I'm on now, because of this place that we're going. Today we are going to go to the very first shop, the very first place that I ever really started working on Clifford at. This is where Clifford was birthed. This is where his snowball, I always describe Clifford's path as a snowball from growing from a mud truck to a race truck to, you know, this is where that push began. This is where Austin and I really cemented our friendship, because it's in this shop that he and I built our first versions of our race trucks together. Also, I'll have you guys know, we put some injectors in old Mr. Bill. You know, LB7s will be LB7s. And I'll have you guys know that Mr. Bill is happy, rocking and rolling, and he is geared up and ready to do another 296,000 miles. Thanks to these S&S SAC 00 injectors, he is running like an absolute champ now as we head over here to Austin's shop. This is it. This little gem, this little jewel back here has turned out two of the finest racetracks that Northwest Florida's ever seen. Here's old Austin. But the reason we're over here today and looking at this old girl is, unfortunately, Austin has decided to part ways with it. We don't really know where this truck fits in our scheme of racing. Like, Austin's got the Camaro now, I've got my truck, I've got the two-tone truck. We both got lots of moving pieces that are, you know, our pipeline is headed in a direction, and right now this truck just doesn't fit in it. We have, you know, I have talked Austin out of selling this thing like 30 times now, because
to me, the truck means a whole lot to me. I know it means a lot to Austin because this is where, like, literally both of our racing things started, was because he started this truck just before I started mine. He convinced me to take mine and do an actual, 6.0 swap in it, and the snowball has gone on from there. I have a direct association with racing as a byproduct of Austin starting and building his truck. Because if he had never done so, I probably never would have taken the plunge to do mine. And if we had never been in this shop, my truck would probably be like on a rough country lift kit with like a set of chrome fuel wheels, squatted. I mean, maybe not squatted, but it would have been a totally different path of where we are now. So we decided to LS swap the world thanks to Austin in this truck. But like I was saying, this thing does not fit in our path anymore. It's just not in the pipeline for us. And he asked me today, he said, "Hey Dylan, I think it's time. I think it's time to get this old truck moved along. Let it be somebody else's. Let somebody else really enjoy it. It's all there. I say it's all here. Some of it's gone. Some of it's laying over there. Some of it's sitting over there. But
it's all here.
It's all here.
But it just needs to be.
We told the guy, because we have a pending buyer. We have a pending buyer, but we told the guy that some assembly required. Kind of a lot of assembly required, because this thing, when it was torn down, I'm mad at Austin for this. I don't know if I ever told you this, but I'm mad at you. I'm mad at you because the last time this thing was out, it ran its personal best.
Yeah.
This thing had a stock Gen 353 on it with like a 250 shot on it. We were pretty, this is where our send it mentality came from. Like, we're not scared of boost because we were first not scared of nitrous.
Yeah.
But this thing ran a personal best, and Austin was like, "Oh no, I'm gonna tear it down." And I'm like, "Man, go race, go. And
Well, okay.
Now it's going for sale.
Short and simple. Let me tell you the plan. This truck, I really wanted to run sixes. That was, for some reason, back in the day, a 6-second car was a fast car. Back in the day.
People don't understand.
6 seconds is fast still, but I wanted a truck to run sixes.
Yeah.
So we were just restricted with motor. I had everything that you could imagine for this truck. We just needed more cubes. So I was going to do a Dart 440, big nitrous motor, 2 kits. And then a guy in the military, me and you went to that truck meet, that Sonic meet.
Mm-hmm.
And that guy came in with that silver 6 gen, and that's what I wanted, dude. It was love at first sight. It's just what I wanted.
Right.
I almost bought that car from him, but then I found another one in Montgomery, and
the rest is history on that now.
The sky's the limit. I mean, the guy, like you said, he's got a lot to do if he does buy it, but it's kind of a clean slate. I mean,
there's a lot of work to do, but there's not a lot of stuff to undo. Right. He is starting with something that some assembly required, but it's as good as something that you could start with. If you want a 4-wheel drive truck to race, this one is a good place to do it at, because it has all the right pieces and all the right places, aside from motor and transmission and a couple nuts and bolts. But if you want to go racing, this thing has all the hard stuff done. It has Hydro Boost, it has coilovers, it has, cow tracks on the rear end, QA1s, Vikings. It has the packages, it has the pieces. This is a very good roller that is ready for your wiring harness and stuff like that to go in and go race.
I would just love to see somebody get it that could put in the love that I used to put into it, because this used to be my life.
Yeah.
Every day we got off work, this is where we worked.
Mm-hmm. If we were waiting on my parts, we were working on yours. Yep. If you had parts, we were putting, back and forth.
I can't tell you how many hours that I've spent of my life laying under this truck. We had an old piece of carpet out here, so we'd have to lay on the cold concrete. I can't tell you how many hours I've spent of my life just under this truck working on stuff. I mean, it was everything I did.
But this thing right here, like this truck, my truck over there, this shop, I've said it once or twice now, but has absolutely set the tone. It has laid the ground, square one. It is ground zero for where we are now and where we're going to go. I don't know where we're going to go, but wherever it is, it's due to this place. It is due to this shop, to this simple, bare nothing. This is what has started the keep digging mentality, because I was a full-time college student. I was a full-time employee. McKenna was like like about a year old. When I decided to start LS swapping my truck, I was making like $15 an hour. Like it would take me 3 weeks to buy a $100 part. You know, because I was trying to buy things that I could afford as I could afford them, when I could afford them, and then when I could find time to put them on. But it gave me that, you know, hey, if you spend more time working on your truck than you think you have to spend money, like time is more valuable than money when it comes to a race car. And this is where that was learned. This is where that started.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man. And this is just Pop's old shop. I remember before I even started working on this truck, I had it in my driveway at my rental house when I was fresh out of high school. I just got married. And Pop, he was, if it was usable in his mind, he had it. So I remember it being up to the lights and scrap metal.
And just junk.
Just junk. And I remember coming out here and man, I probably spent 4 weeks just getting it to where you could see the concrete again. And me and you were super blessed to have a place like this to work on. You know, I know a lot of the guys are out there in their backyard laying on their backs in the grass, and my hat's off to you because that's rough.
Yeah.
I have a hard time getting my big tail on the concrete, but they're out there in the dirt and the leaves pulling transmissions. That we were super blessed to have a place like this, and I think you're right. You know, this really is where it all started. I mean, if I didn't have this type of place, I don't know if I would be where I am today.
Yeah.
With working on our cars and trucks.
It's wild to me how a place like this is just a basic, you know, a couple of round sheets of metal. It's some welded up doors that don't close, and they don't close off from the air. The wind blows in from that side. It's real cold in the winter. It's real hot in the summer. The floor gets wet. It gives it some character.
It is far from a shop. I would more consider it a barn, but it was somewhere that you weren't having to lay in the dirt.
Right. That it's crazy that it's something as simple as this place could lead to, you know, the friendship that Austin and I have. Like, first and foremost, like, to hell with race trucks. Me and Austin are buds. We're brothers. We're bros. And this place, it has a lot to do with that. And, you know, I'm incredibly appreciative of all the things that we learned, mechanically speaking, all the things that we did wrong here, all the things that we did right. You know, I think it was important to bring you guys here. I know it sucks that your first introduction here to Old Red is Austin kind of getting her prepped and ready for the guy to come pick her up. Just bolting the steering wheel back in it and a couple little things so that way it's at least mobile. But
when the guy called me, he said, man, I want to come get it this afternoon. And I said, hold on there, pal. I said, look, I texted Dylan and said, hey, man, I think it's time to get rid of Old Red. And here we are an hour later, and you're calling me trying to get it. I said, I have no plan at all.
This thing was for sale like casually on my Facebook for like 30 minutes, and there was like 40 comments, and I don't know. It was wild because people, I'm telling you right now, people see what this thing can be, and I just wish that it was in the pipeline for it to do that with us. But I can tell you what, if I see this thing at the racetrack one day, I'm calling this dude out.
I'll be super happy.
I'm calling this dude out because I want to sit beside it one more time, because the first real race that Austin and I ever won was side by side together in the finals of a little index race. Mouth of the South. We split the pot, you know. We played that one out perfect. Our trucks were running on prime right then. Like, mine was a 6.0 with 150 shot. His was the 5.3 with like a 250,000 shot. Basically free flowing the 4A in line, I guess, at that point. But that was they ran door to door with each other. ET wise, I might have treated Austin a little bit. I might have left out on him. He might have been sleeping.
Nothing new.
But that win, these two trucks going down side by side, my truck and this truck, is, you know, beyond the building that we've already talked about, but that win together has fueled me into my addiction with racing.
Yeah, just put it this way, I've probably made well over 100. I would say I've easily made over 100 passes in my Camaro, right? There's not been a single time where I've had more fun racing than that one night. I will never forget that till I die. I don't care if I raced 30 more vehicles in my lifetime. I'll never forget that night that me and you raced and we made it to the finals and won that.
Yeah, maybe I can. I know I can find pictures of it.
Yeah. If only you would have started a YouTube
man, if we'd have started one right then, this ball game would be totally different. This would be something different. I would be something different. But you know, it's The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. And so that's what we're doing. So, well, guys, there it is. Austin's old Ruby Red here. Do you ever have a name for the thing? Like, really? Do you ever have a real name? Or is it just always the red truck?
It's been called all kinds of stuff, but really just the red truck.
Just the red truck, yeah.
Even though it really, I don't think the paint code has red in it.
Yeah, well, it's like mine. Like, my truck's not black, but it's the black truck. Like, it's Clifford. It's the black truck.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Yeah,
It was just
yours is
kinda
red.
known as the red truck.
yeah, yours is red. It's the red truck. But so there you have it, guys. Like I was saying, that is Austin's red truck. Unfortunately, it seems like it's going to be going away. You know, kind of sad to see it go, even though we haven't touched it in a couple of years. But got a couple of guys that are very serious about it. One guy that says he's coming down this weekend to come and get it. You know, it's going to be sad to kind of see it go, but I wanted to come here, help Austin get the dust knocked off the thing, so that way if a buyer does come through, it's ready for them to take it with them. And I wanted to show you where we were born, where this all started, and to kind of reiterate to you guys that you don't have to have a world-class facility to get started, that you just have to get started. That's the key. You literally, I know this is going to sound cliche, but you just have to keep digging.